The Casio G-Shock GBD-200 is best known for its stunning MIP display that's viewable from almost any angle. But as part of the Casio Move lineup, it also gives you a lot more function than you get with most G-Shocks. It sits in a bit of an odd position. Is it a traditional G-Shock? Is it a hybrid smartwatch? Is it an activity tracker? Well, it's kind of all of those things, and depending on what you want to use it for, it might be absolutely perfect for you, or you might find it a little underwhelming. Let's go over exactly what this watch is designed to do, how well it does it, and then I'll tell you my thoughts on what I think it does best. Welcome to Sneaky Pete's Product Reviews. The thing that most made me want to try this Casio GBD-200 is that beautiful MIP or memory in pixel display. It's tough to truly appreciate this display when you're looking at pictures, as when you get it in your hand, the display seems impossibly sharp and legible, especially considering that this is a negative display. While I generally find negative displays hard to read in less than ideal lighting conditions, this is by far the most readable negative display I've ever seen on a Casio watch, without question. Not only is the viewing angle absolutely insane, but it also retains that at-a-glance readability that I find you lack in negative display watches. The main watch face has a super large time display, which makes it easy to see even if it's quite dark out. And I would say if you buy this watch for the display alone, I think you're going to be quite pleased with your purchase. But you can select from 4 different display options when you press this upper left display button. There's a Time Plus Daily mode. This shows you your daily step count, as well as your step count total for the last 7 days. There's a Time Plus Monthly mode, and this shows you your monthly workout distance, but keep in mind this does not count your daily steps in this distance. Then the last mode is the Time Plus World Time. This is going to show you your time, as well as another time zone, so you can have 2 of them displayed at the same time. The watch itself has that classic square G-Shock kind of shape, and it's available in multiple different colors, including an all-black version if you want to go the boring route. I went with this blue model here, and I'm glad I did. I find it gives a little pop of color. I have a lot of black watches, so I didn't want to get another black watch, but it's not too loud that it's going to mean you can only wear it with like a certain outfit. You get 4 labeled buttons that also feature a sub-label, as this watch has way more complexity than a standard sort of G-Shock module, and you also have a dedicated light button front and center. I like that you get a little pop of red on the light button, as well as on the upper right button, which is your start button, and it also has red on the sub-label as well. You also notice this gray line running through the middle, which is actually a cutout that reveals the inner case, and you can see it when you look at the very back of the watch as well. The backlight does a really good job. There are dual lights at the bottom, and they completely illuminate the display. You do get an auto backlight with this model, and you can select it from the 1.5 or 3 seconds. So that means when it's dark, when you turn your watch 40 degrees, the backlight's going to automatically turn on. But the really weird thing is it's only enabled for 6 hours. So it's not a setting that you just turn on and then it's on from that point forward. You have to turn it on every 6 hours if you really like that function. To me, this says that they're really concerned about the battery life on this one. They rate it to be 2 years, but I don't think there's any way you're getting 2 years of battery life on this thing if you're using the vibration function, the auto backlight, the Bluetooth, the notifications, and if they weren't worried about the battery life, they wouldn't put that 6-hour limitation on the auto backlight. The strap is made from a soft urethane material, and it's really supple and pliable. It does a great job at handling even your sweatiest workout. Rather than adjustment holes, it has these large rectangular notches which help add a little airflow, and I like that the buckle tongue is a wide, flat piece of metal because it not only looks cool, but it makes it work really well. It also gives you more adjustment holes than you normally get on a strap this size, so you should be able to find your perfect fit no matter what your wrist size is. While I now find the strap to be very comfortable, at first I did not, as whenever I moved my wrist in a certain way, this would pinch me. I don't know which part it was. I went in there and I tried touching things and rubbing things to see if there was a part that was sticking out, and I couldn't find anything, but it would just constantly pinch my wrist, and I was a little bit concerned about my enjoyment of the watch, but at some point that just went away and it hasn't pinched me since, so I don't know if you'll experience that, but I don't get it anymore at least. I do wish that the extra strap sat flatter though, as I find you always get this little doubling up rather than it sitting nice and tight like that, which I would prefer. When I compare this to my other square G-Shock, my GWM 5610U, it definitely feels larger on my wrist, both in the width and thickness departments. I find it quite wearable and comfortable though, even if I'm at the gym, but I wouldn't complain if it was a bit smaller. The case measures at 49.4 by 45.9 millimeters, coming in at a 15 millimeter thickness with a weight of 58 grams. As I mentioned, you get a vibration function with the GBD-200, and I haven't had that in a G-Shock before, but I am happy to report it does work with the daily alarm, and it will wake me up when I wear it overnight. As the GBD-200 has Bluetooth, it will connect to your smartphone using the Casio Move app. An interesting inclusion in this smartphone link-up is that this watch can show you notifications from your phone. But the bizarre thing is that you can turn notifications on or off. You can't tell the watch what notifications you want to receive. So for example, we have an e-commerce website, so I want to get notifications from Shopify, I want to get phone call alerts, and that's about all I want to get. But you can't do that. It's an all or none sort of a setting. I don't know why they made it like that. Unless you're in a scenario where you get extraordinarily few notifications, I don't think it's going to be that useful for you because it just powers through everything that your phone's getting right to your watch. Another thing that I find weird, if the watch notifies me that I get a text message, for example, I can't press a button to look at that notification. I have to cycle through the modes until I get to the notification screen and then press multiple buttons to actually see the notification. I think it's a great idea in theory, but in practice, the notification system is not super useful, but handy in a pinch. The GBD-200 has workout tracking functionality, and you input your height, weight, and gender into the watch, and then it helps better track your calories. It can even use the GPS on your smartphone to better calibrate your pace and distance, and it will store the workout data for you to peruse later or even to sync it up with other apps. Again, this brings it closer to smartwatch territory, but it is a much watered down version if you're expecting it to be an Apple Watch. It's essentially made to track walking and running. So that means you're not going to select what type of workout you're doing, you're just going to turn the workout on or off. For runners that want to track their distance, pace, and calorie info, this is going to be perfect. But if you want to track the calories burned in a weight training session or during a game of tennis, it's going to give you a super rough approximation at best. I think of this feature sort of like the notifications. For some people, it's going to be totally adequate and they'll be really happy with it, while for other people, it's not going to do nearly what they need to do and it'll be woefully underpowered. Essentially, I wouldn't recommend buying this watch for its Bluetooth or for its workout tracking capabilities. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they're useful or they don't work, but I think for the real-world day-to-day practicality that they offer, it's just not the best features of this watch. They're going to be more for casual users of the functions, or for people whose lifestyle happens to fit with exactly this specific way this watch works. Think about it like this. If you're buying this to get a G-Shock Apple Watch, you're going to be disappointed. But as this is only a fraction of the price of an Apple Watch and not designed or purported to be an Apple Watch, this shouldn't be your expectation going into it. This is a rugged, beautiful G-Shock with a fantastic display that also offers some notification and workout tracking capabilities. As this 3506 module offers way more function and a significantly higher level of detail than most Casios, I'm going to cover everything in an overview style rather than in gory detail. So let's have a look at the functions this watch offers and how you use it. The display button, that's going to change your different modes there. It's the daily mode, the monthly, that's the dual time, and then back to our regular mode. Now this button here, this is all you need to do to start your workout. Press that, it's ready to go, and then when you want to start your workout, press it one more time, boom. And that instantly starts your workout just like that. When you're walking, this will show you your pace, your total distance. If I want to log a split time or a lap, just going to press lap. See, now it's like an inverted display there. I almost want to see this in that format instead of the negative format. I like that. And then if you want to stop your workout, just going to press this button here. It's going to stop it. Now I can resume, save or delete. Up and down here you see forward and reverse, like up and down. Let's go delete this one. We don't want to delete this one. We're going to delete that workout. As you see, it's not super fast. It's going to take a minute before it goes through this process and sends us back to the home screen. It's not crazy, but definitely takes a bit of time. We press our mode button once here. This is our timer mode here. Only has a 60-minute maximum timer, but it can be repeating. You can set this repeating as much as you want, essentially. You can do it on watch, or you can do it in the app. I'd recommend doing it in the app. I think it's way easier. If I want to start the timer, just going to press that button to start it. You're going to see that start counting down, and you see a total as well because there's more than one timer. So if you're like an interval trainer or something like that, if you like to do 30 minutes of this, 30 minutes of that, it's going to be a great watch for that. You Gonna go ahead and reset that. If you do want to adjust it on watch, I really wish you could do more than a 60-minute timer. I just hate it when it's only 60 minutes. Hold this button here. Now I can adjust it. I can make it repeat if I want. So I can have it repeat 3 times, for example. I'm gonna lock that in. Then I can scroll through my different workouts here. I haven't named these ones, but I named 1 weights, 1 cardio. But you see, you have 5 total timers that you can have set up. So you don't get a more than 60-minute timer, but you get some different functionality that could be more useful depending on how you use it. The next mode is going to be our stopwatch, and this is weird. Just wait. Watch when I start this here. So it's a stopwatch in full seconds. That's it. Now I hear there's limitations with this display. That's why it doesn't show the sub-seconds. I don't know if that's true for sure, but it does make sense, because I don't know otherwise why they would do this. I've never seen a stopwatch that only does full seconds like that. Has split time or lap time like you would expect. If I want to stop the stopwatch, press that same start button. Can reset it just like that. Our next mode here, this is the activity. This just tells you for the month your workout details. So keep in mind this is only for your workout. You could wear this all day every day and you could log 18,000 miles, but if it's not a workout that you're logging, it will not show up here. So I've done 5 workouts this month for a total of 10.49 kilometers. My average pace is a dismal 16.21 per kilometer, but of course I'm usually walking my dog when I do this and he likes to sniff things. So let's go to our next mode here. Now this is the notifications. This is where your notifications live, and you would think here you can go and select the phone or the text or emails, but you can't. You can only select notifications in total here. If I go and run this, so this is like my home camera here, notification on my camera. So you see what I mean? Like I only want certain notifications and it's showing me everything. So you have no way to only see a few notifications, and it will show you 10 at a time. So if you only get text messages from people, you don't have any other notifications, it might be totally useful. But for me, you know, that's camera, Shopify, I want that one. Camera, chess, okay, I want that one too. Calendar, Instagram, Shopify. So out of these 10 notifications, I really only want to see these Shopify ones. But just so you can see, if you go to this notification here, right? So it does tell you all the kind of stuff you would need in a notification, but you can see it's a little bit clunky. If you were going to be using this to look at your notifications, this would be the process you would go through. So let's say I want to check my notifications here. Okay, so this is what I have to do. 1 mode, 2, 3, 4, select one, select the notification. Okay, there we go. So it's a lot of button presses to see a notification. So you can see why it's not the most useful sort of a system. If you could just see them directly from the home screen, one of these buttons went there, I think it'd be way more useful. Now if you hold this display button here, this is going to bring up your main menu. And this has all kinds of stuff on it here. So this is where it gets really, really involved. So let's go to the alarm, for example. So there's my alarm. I get up at 4:29. I get up early. I get up real early. So I would go like this, turn this to on and snooze, because then this is going to do it multiple times. So you have a way better chance of this waking you up if it's on the snooze. That is, of course, if it doesn't just wake you up from the vibration that it does it. But for me, I find the vibration to be quite a bit, and it wakes me up no problem at all. So home time, time adjust, world time, alarm, profile. Profile is where you do your height, sex, weight, birthday, what wrist you're going to wear it on, right? Whoops. Profile, what wrist you're going to wear it on, right? So you can select which wrist you're going to wear. I'm a righty watch wearer, of course that is. Let's go back out of here. So the beep, you can turn the beep on or off. Your light, auto light, right? If you turn this auto, let's go ahead and turn this on here. Now it's on for 6 hours, right? It's not just on. Very, very odd. Have your light 1.5 or 3 seconds, but it is nice how it's all visible words here, right? You can see even in that small text, it's very, very visible. You're not struggling to see it at all, which is nice. Now the vibration, you can of course turn this off if you don't like it or if you want to save batteries, and you can turn it on for operation. I did not like this at all, as it vibrates with every button push, just like with a beep. So if you have this to operation on, that is going to run through your battery like crazy. I definitely wouldn't recommend doing that. Pair it, that's how you're going to pair it with your phone. airplane mode. It has a phone finder on it, right? So it has a phone finder. See, I like this little graphic. Oh, wow, look at that. Let's go to unit. So distance, calories, so you can go and let's go height, right? Centimeters or feet. So it's got lots of different functions on here. You can see why I wanted to give you an abridged version because there's a lot to go over on this one here. Reset all and regulatory. So if we go to world time mode, for example, city, let's do London. Why not? We're gonna do London for our world time mode. Then when I go back here and we go to that different mode with the dual times, you're seeing London up there, right? So we have our time in Vancouver and then London. You'll see we turned our alarm on, the alarm's on, and has the snooze notification as well to let us know we're in the snooze setting on that. So there's a super quick overview. Just kind of want to show you what it looks like when you're moving through the watch, show you some of the different modes. But if you want to check out this module in detail, it has a ton of different features. You're going to spend a lot of time learning this one if you want to learn it inside and out. But overall, it's very easy to use, and by no means are you obligated to use the vast majority of these if you just want to use it like a standard kind of a G-Shock. Overall, the Casio GBD-200 leaves me a little bit torn on how I feel about it. On the one hand, it has everything that I love about G-Shocks, with by far my favorite display on any of the G-Shock models that I own. The viewing angle is not only impressive, but it's also super useful as it's visible from literally any angle, and I can see it even in a reasonably dark room, which is mind-blowing as it's a negative display. But on the other hand, I find some of the most advertised functions to be not particularly useful for me, and I don't think the notification system is going to be useful for pretty much anyone. So on one hand, I really like the watch, but on the other hand, it has some very underwhelming features. I think the person who is going to be the happiest with this watch is a G-Shock fan who needs this beautiful MIP display in their life and will appreciate being able to track their walking and running activity while being able to access notifications from their phone. If you look at this watch purely as a standard kind of G-Shock, I think it's a fantastic purchase that offers a unique look in a functional presentation. If you're looking at the watch as an alternative to something like a smartwatch or an Apple Watch, you're going to be disappointed in the experience. No one's saying it's an Apple Watch. I think the only reason I thought that was when I heard workout tracking and Bluetooth and notifications and all this kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, buy it for the G-Shock and you're gonna love it. And if you buy it for being a smartwatch, you probably won't. What do you think about the Casio GBD-200? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and check the affiliate links in the description if you're looking to pick one of these up. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you soon with another video.